Everybody knows that Kellyanne Conway has a real problem when it comes to actually telling the truth. But Sean Spicer doesn't want to be left out of the action here. He's seen that Kellyanne Conway is getting all kinds of coverage, even though it's all negative, because she invented the fake Bowling Green massacre, and now she's getting hammered by the press for it. But Sean Spicer actually did it before Kellyanne Conway, and now finally the reports are starting to come up showing this. In late January, Spicer told ABC's This Week that there was an Islamist terrorist attack in the city of Atlanta. Now, he mentioned that along with the Boston bombing and the San Bernardino shooters. He said, San Bernardino, Boston, and Atlanta. Now, this wasn't a slip of the tongue, because just a few days later, he reasserted that same claim that there was a terrorist attack perpetrated by a Muslim in the city of Atlanta, Georgia. Just like Kellyanne Conway's claims, there's absolutely no facts, no evidence whatsoever to back up these claims, and officials have said that no, there has never been an attack in the city of Atlanta carried out by a terrorist of Muslim faith. There was the guy that bombed the Olympics in the 90s, but he wasn't a Muslim, he was an American, 100%. And that's the problem that Sean Spicer, Kellyanne Conway, and the entire Trump administration have. They want to believe that all terrorism in the United States, in the world really, comes from Muslims. Anyone who is of the Islamic faith is going to commit a terrorist attack at some point in their lives, and only Donald Trump and Kellyanne Conway and Sean Spicer are smart enough and brave enough to talk about it. They're ignoring every attack that's been carried out on U.S. soil by white people. Donald Trump likes to talk about the dangers of Chicago because of all the thugs, which is code word for black people. So he's given them a little bit of credit for doing some things too, allegedly, which again, not even true. But they're not talking about the abortion clinic bombings, the Oklahoma City bombings, all of the mass shootings that have taken place by deranged white men. Those people are the real threat to citizens in the United States. Why are they not talking about this? Because that's their base. And they also know that their base lives in constant fear of an Islamic terrorist attack. So that's why they're going after this. But if you're having to invent attacks to defend a policy by your administration, specifically the Muslim ban, where they ban Muslims from entering the country from 7 different countries, none of which have ever been linked to a single terrorist attack on U.S. soil. But when your only defense of this Muslim ban is to make up terrorist attacks that never happened, that are easily verifiably never happening, then maybe you need a new tactic. Maybe you need to accept the fact that this was a poorly executed, poorly thought out plan to prevent Muslims from coming into this country. If you want to go after the real terrorist in the United States, maybe start with Cliven Bundy and his family. Maybe start with the mentally ill white kids that are getting their hands on guns and shooting up schools. That seems like a better place to start if you honestly are worried about protecting the lives of American people.